PowerPoint slide.
Let's double check the video. Screen two. Okay. Okay, are they in? Hello, hello.
You open the share, but you never close the share.
This okay.
Okay.
Okay, can.
Right.
Thank you. Hello, hello. Hey guys. Hi. Hey. Hi Arun. Hi Juha. Hey, hello Namdi. Hello Ronald. Hello Stephen. And hi to the rest. Hey, thank you very much for joining today on another IronFX webinar series. Hey, give it a moment for the others to join before we begin this webinar. Okay, give it a moment. Okay. Okay, let us begin. Okay, welcome. There are more people joining. Thank you very much. Hey, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Where are you guys from? Well, for me, I'm from Singapore. It's around, okay, it's 6 p.m. right now. 6 p.m. Oh, Nigeria, Finland, UK. Very, very nice. Wow, all over the world. Belgium. Wow, all these places. I got to go there one day. Okay, nice. Let us begin. Okay, today will be very, very technical. Very technical on the multiple pivot point strategies. There are quite a few that I would like to share with you. So let us begin. Okay, as usual with the introduction, my name is Chen Yongjing, and I am the investment analyst for Everest Fortune Group. So we are also the finalists for the best Forex research for 2019, 2020, and 2021. We are also the finalists for the best equity research for 2020 and 2021. Okay, a disclaimer first, all trading involves risk. It is possible to lose all of your capital. And the agenda for today. What are pivot points? The different types of pivot points, and what time frame should you use for pivot points? Also, we will be teaching how to add them into your strategy. So later I can ask you guys what kind of strategy you guys use. Then I can see what kind of ways we can implement it into your strategy. Okay, my hair is a bit messy. Do apologize for that. Okay, what are pivot points? Okay, a pivot point is like, let's say the chart, up, down, up, down. So where are the pivot points? A very simple pivot point is the top and the bottom of the low and the high. So you can call it as the previous high or the previous low. Okay, a pivot point is an intraday technical indicator used to identify trends and reversals, mainly in equities, commodities, and the Forex markets. So all these reversals, what I like to do, I personally use something very similar to pivots. So with this, the high and the low, I like to catch that reversal back in. But of course, with some confirmation. So maybe later I can share on how I do that. Okay, pivot points are also calculated to determine levels in which the sentiment of the market could change from bullish to bearish, vice versa. Okay, the high, just take note, the high, it indicates the highest price from the prior trading day. Hey, I see more of you guys sleeping in. Hi, April. Hi, Ayman. Hello, welcome to the webinar. Okay, as I was saying, the high, hey, hello. Hi, man. Okay, as I was saying, the high indicates the highest price from the prior trading day. The low indicates the lowest price from the prior trading day. Okay, the day traders calculate pivot points to determine levels of entry, stops, and profit taking. Later, I'll be turning on trading view, so I'll show you guys the pivots are the multiple pivots. I think I'll be presenting for today. Hey, good to be here. Yes, yes. Lucky you are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Annie Chukwa Kingsley. Okay, I'll be presenting today 4 different types of pivot points. The standard ones, which are the most basic ones, the Camarilla pivot points, which I think I like it. I like this pivot quite a lot. And the Fibonacci pivot points and the Woody's pivot points. So all these are just improved versions of pivot points. So the first pivot point, this one, the Camarilla pivot points. Okay, it's actually refined form of existing classic pivot points formula developed by Nick Stott, and it's a better use of Fibonacci numbers in the calculations of levels. It's also used to calculate intraday support and resistance levels. Okay, let me open it up. Let me open the charts before we begin. Okay, just to let you guys know, also we have an IronFX YouTube channel where you can watch the live TV and the past playlist. You can take a look. You can learn quite a lot of things right here on the IronFX YouTube channel. I'll just paste it over into the chat to everyone. Okay. Okay, we start with the traditional pivots first. Okay, traditional pivots it looks very confusing. There are multiple resistance 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's in a way, it's very, very similar to how a Fibonacci works. So if you take a look, if I turn it off, how a Fibonacci works, can from the top all the way there. So it looks very similar. If I turn it on, you see some lines coinciding, especially this area. So it's in a way you can actually trade similarly to how you use a Fibonacci from one area to another area. Okay, this is just the traditional one. You can actually find it in the indicators under pivots. So you can actually get the pivot point standard. Okay, what's the one that I was going to present is the Camarilla pivot points. Okay, let me move the screen a bit so I can see everybody. Oh, more people are joining. Hey, welcome, man. Welcome, Hanin. I just saw you sleeping in. Okay, so we are on this. Okay, so for resistance, for these pivot points, for this pivot, the Kama, let me type it out. Okay, excuse my pronunciation. Camarilla pivot points. Okay, so with this, we have the supports 1, support 2, supports 1, support 2, support 3, support 4. Okay, you said that the email said start time was 10 AM GMT. Yes, it's right now it's 10 AM GMT. It's 6 PM. Well, for my timing, it's 6 PM GMT plus 8. So it's slightly different. No, it's 11 AM. I think, can you please, Stephen, can you please say what you meant against? I think I'm a bit confused at your statement. Okay, it's the Camarilla pivot point. Okay, so we also have the resistance 1, resistance 2, 3, and 4. So what I like about this is I actually noticed that you can actually backtest. With backtest, you can buy from the resistance, you can buy from the support and with the stop loss below. So example like this. Okay, now is 11 a.m. Email said it will start at 10 a.m. Okay. I'm not sure about that. I think it might have been the IronFX email site issue. GMT timing, just let me clear this up. Now it's 11 a.m. GM email said it will start at 10 a.m. Well, I think it's the GMT plus 0. Do you mean that, Stephen? Okay, give me a moment. Okay, let us continue. I think I'll get back to you regarding that again later on. Okay, so yesterday I was actually in a EU short. Oh, you are in summertime. Okay. I think I'm a bit confused on the timing too. Later I'll check it out. Okay, so what do we have? Give me a moment. Okay, so we have this area. You can see this area. This is the support 2. It bounced up and it actually coincides with an area where I was actually trading yesterday. So I was actually in a short. I was in a short over here, somewhere here, with my take profits 1 here and take profit 2 at this candle right here. But my final take profit didn't got hit. Well, it's fine. Later I'll explain this trade out also. So I actually like this pivot point a lot, this Camarilla pivot point. So you can see as soon as the what do you call it, the supports for, this is the supports for the previous day, or the resistance for that it gets broken, you normally trade with the trend. So when price goes below it, they continue selling downwards or upwards. So this one, it's the support for that is broken. Let me make it smaller a bit. Okay, let's take a look at old data for some back testing. So you can see here, resistance 4 broken, price continues going upwards. So I'm sure you guys are thinking right now, why not I set a buy stop here, a buy stop with my stop loss at the bottom, maybe here at resistance 3 for price to continue going upwards. Isn't it possible? Please, audio echoing. Okay, let me test the mic. Hi, mic test. I think someone is having issues. Can you hear me clearly? Can you guys hear me clearly? Where will this recording be uploaded? Not here, all clear, no audio issue. Okay, this audio recording, they might upload to the IronFX YouTube channel. They might. So I remembered I saw my, let me take a look. Okay, all clear. So I think for you, for audio Kyun, it might be your speaker issue, or you might want to use a earpiece regarding this echoing issue that you might have. So they okay, no problem. Hey, thank you. Okay, nice. Let us continue. Okay, so they might actually upload it on YouTube. I saw my previous live trading analysis was uploaded online too. So it might take a few days. Give them some time to upload. So let me clear these things out. Okay. So some of you guys are thinking probably I can set a short position right here upon breaking the support 4. My stop loss, to be safe, I can set it at the supports 1 and let price continue downwards with at least, as usual, a minimum of 1-to-1 risk to reward. Minimum 1-to-1. Never go lower than that. You will be especially 0.8. All this, just ignore. Do not take a trade. So we can see, let us see by the end of this session where price on the euro dollar might be heading to, since it has already broken the supports for pivots. So for this, right, coming back here, just now the back test, to have a safe, very safe one, we have our stop loss at the first resistance, the red line. Wow, even more people are joining. Wow, we have quite a lot of people today. Okay, let us move on here too. Okay, this is a scenario that it did not work out well. So you're taking a shot. You're taking a shot. Let's say you take a shot here, a stop shot. Okay, it's not here. Okay, it's here. This scenario did not work out. So with your stop loss there, and then the maximum it even went was in a negative risk to reward before price reversed all the way up. So you cannot just trade solely based on one indicator, especially the pivot indicator. It's best to combine multiple forms of indicators or your own trading methods before you enter a trade. This is a very good example of a beginner mistake. If you actually enter it right here, and then it just hits your stop loss, although you have a very wide stop loss. So let's continue. Okay, another area is here. Price goes up, maximum it did when, okay, at least nice, it was a 1-to-1 right here, at least. So always, I have a question, do you use the automatic trading? Answer live. Okay, you were asking you want to do this automatic trading. You want to use this automatic trading? No, I actually don't use automatic trading. I use something called, this is my personal trading method, Smart Money Concepts. Just send it out into chat. So I usually use that, Hanin. I use Smart Money Concepts as a confirmation together with market imbalance. I stress that a lot, especially the amount of risk that I'm using. I only risk 1% per trade. So I don't go for those 5% trades where after, so let's say you risk 5% per trade. It takes you 20 losing trades to actually blow your entire account. With 1%, it gives me more time to cover back if I'm in a loss. And it actually takes 100 trades before you blow your account. So if you actually blow your account risking 1%, I think you need to rethink your decision on trading or to just take a step back and start to study more. Okay, I'm not seeing, okay, nice. Okay, here is another example of how it didn't work out. I'm just showing you guys things that don't work out and how it works out, just in case you guys decide to just do a stop, just follow using the indicator and then it hits your stop loss. So this is another scenario where it didn't work out. Always look to the left of the charts, especially here. Do you have a robot? No, I do not use a robot. I don't trade using a robot. I trade using a naked chart, actually. A naked chart. So what do I mean by a naked chart? I do not use any indicators when I am trading. Later, I will open up my personal chart layout. You can see. So I actually have my personal chart layout right here, where I'll show you later. There's 0 indicators involved. Okay, moving up. So you can actually see the win rate just following this, Camarilla pivot point is not that accurate. People can actually reverse price actually for this scenario, price reverse. This scenario, price reverse. For this, price went kind of right before it reversed. Okay, this is another scenario. It didn't work out. The overall trend is bearish. But then this area broke. You try to short. You try to short. Okay, it worked quite well. This is working well. The stop loss there. It's very wide. You get a 1-to-1, but it took quite long. I don't like holding trades for a long period of time. So how long did it take to even hit a 1-to-1? Wow, this is a very, very long trade if you're actually in it. Wow, it took 3 days, 13 hours just by using a sell stop, man. That's very, very long. Same thing with this. Wow. It took very, very long for a 1-to-1 trade. Okay, just in summary, don't just use a sell stop. Use some kind of confirmation before you enter, and also to minimize your risk to reward. Okay, this took 1 day, 2 hours. It's quite long, man. Okay, let's move on to the others. Let's move on to the other. Let's carry on with the presentation. Okay. Next, we have the Fibonacci. Okay, there's one more person with a question. Do you have a group to do smart money concepts together? Let me answer this live. Okay, do you have a group to do the smart money concepts together? Unfortunately, no. Actually, I don't. I learn it online, and then I have friends in real life who I actually discuss smart money concepts with, and then he's actually better than me at smart money concepts at the time of my learning. So I guess it's working pretty well. The concepts are pretty okay to understand, pretty easy to understand for me compared to other methods. What method do you use, Hanin? What method do you use for trading? Hey guys, just send into the chat what methods do you use for trading. I'm quite interested since we have quite a lot of people. The diversity of trading methods should be a lot. Regardless whether you guys are new to trading or price action. Akuma, you use price action. So do you trade like, do you know who is Raja Banks? Do you trade like him? Okay, next we have the Fibonacci pivot points. It incorporates the Fibonacci levels into their calculations. Is pretty much accurate, and they find the support and resistance levels. Okay, so the calculation is quite complicated. So I actually wanted to add it into the slide, but then it's already in an indicator, it's automated. So you guys do not actually have to know how this entire, all the pivot points that I was covering, how it's calculated. It's fine, it's not needed. Okay, I think somebody is asking another question. Okay, Hanin, you are asking about money management. What do you mean about money management? Do you mean risk management? Do share it into the chat. I can help to answer your question regarding that. Okay, risk management. I'll just do a quick one. So hopefully the others can benefit on that too. So let me clear this out. Let me take an eraser to clear this out. Is it not clearing? Forget it. Okay, so I risk 1% of my accounts. I only risk 1%. So let's put it into very, very simple terms. Extremely, extremely simple. So I have $100 in my account. Okay, maybe 1,000. So per trade, I only risk 1% of 1,000 times 1%. So every time I lose, let's say I lose the trade, hit my stop loss, I only lose $10. But if I have a risk to reward of 2 to 1, I'll get 2%, which is equals to $20 profits. So how do you calculate your lot size? How do I calculate the lot size for the 1%? So let's say I'll just draw it out. This is how a trading view looks like. So we have the stop loss level, the SL, the take profit area. So the SL, let's say we have a stop loss of 9 pips. 9 pips. But then including commission plus commission is equals to 10 pips. So we just take our $10 divided by 10 is equals to 1. And then you take your 1 and divide by 10. So you get your lot size. So your risk amount divided by the pips you are risking and then divide by 10 one more time. This is just a manual calculation. Okay, let's move on to the Fibonacci one, the Fibonacci thing that we are talking about. So have I answered your question, Hanin? Okay, the pivot points levels are determined by calculating the pivot in the standard method. We have the calculation method is pretty complicated. I'll not get right into it. Okay, and why people like to use Fibonacci is because many traders use the Fibonacci ratios. They use it for retracements and as a place of where they would like to close their trade or take profit at Fibonacci levels. So I also like to use Fibonacci to determine to add confluence. Confluence, let me write it out in case my pronunciation is not that good. So to add confluence to my trade, I like to use Fibonacci. So I also look to the left of the chart, left to the chart, as in there must always be a reason on why there is a take profit area. Okay, okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I do apologize for that. Okay, you say you are a beginner. So I don't understand anything in day trading. Is this course okay for me or should I skip this course? Do stay around to listen. I can actually show you some methods where you can increase your chance of to have a better chance of a winning trade. I'll just simplify it down. Later I'll show maybe some form of smart money concepts, a very, very simple one later on. How I take it and I only take that kind of trade. Okay, next we have the Woody's pivot points. So it has a greater weighting on recent price data, very similar to the EMA, and it's used for intraday trading. So for Woody's pivot points, they are made up of multiple key levels calculated from past points. The key levels include the pivot point itself and multiple supports and resistance levels. So traders actually use these levels as a guide for future price movements when setting up trades. The calculation for the Woody pivot points differs from other pivots because it places a greater weighting on recent price data than the other variations. Okay, it's also widely believed that the high and low prices are a result of emotions in the heat of the battle, while the opening and closing prices are a more accurate representation of the mood of the markets. Okay, let's move on. I can open the chart again to present the Woody's pivot points. Okay, think it might be this. Okay, we have the, okay, my screen has all these lines. How do I remove it? Can you guys actually see the blue lines on the screen? Can you guys see it, or is it only me? Do let me know all these blue lines that I'm actually looking at. There are some lines on the screen. You guys see all these lines right here? Oh, damn. Okay. I think it might be something to do with the drawings. Oh, wow. I got to... Okay, I found it. Oh, yes. Nice, nice. Okay. Found a way to clear it. Hey, thank you for confirming that. Okay, for Woody's pivot lines, just like the PowerPoints. Okay. They like to sell. Where are they selling? They're selling at the first resistance, downwards, or they long it from the second support or the first support. My personal thoughts about all this, about entering like that, just by entering, oh, I have a buy limit set here, buy limit set here, stop loss below, buy limit. The thing is, I take it as it's some kind of gambling. I'll take it as this gambling, because if you just set your buy stop or your sell limit just at this level, along this level, waiting for price to go down, you are not adding confluence. What you want is multiple confluences to the left side of the charts, or multiple like confirmations that this trade might go in your direction, instead of just setting a buy limit, sell limit. I wouldn't do that. Okay, Woody's pivot points. Get to the chart. Okay, let's take a look. Since Woody's pivot points are for the intraday traders. Okay, no issue, continue class. Okay, sure. Okay, you can take a look right here. So you have a short position, stop loss at the second resistance. This is using the Woody's. I'll just write out Woody's points. Make it larger a bit. Okay, maybe 20. It's too small. 40. Okay, Woody pivot points as usual. 1-to-1 risk to reward. So you're just trading zone to zone, just like a Fibonacci. Zone to zone. The first support and the first resistance. Also, later I'll show you guys how I enter using smart money concepts, a possible way that we can implement it together. Or if you guys have any methods that you guys are currently using and that I might know, do send it over in chats. I might try to implement it in. So same thing here. People try to long. Let's say you long it here. Your stop loss must be a considerable area. It's up to you where you want to set. So if you set it right here, your stop loss hits. But let's say in a scenario where you set your stop loss lower, can you show how to calculate the pivot points? We are actually using an indicator. I'm not calculating the pivot points, so you can actually search it up. The indicator that I currently use is by Chris Waters. And it's under indicators. We do not calculate the pivot points ourselves. If you like to know the calculation, I actually want to add it to chart, added it to the PowerPoints, but I thought about it. I think it's too technical and it's something that majority of people won't be using. They won't be calculating. They'll just see it and they will forget about it. Since it's already in an indicator, so I guess the calculation is not needed. Okay, but thank you for asking, Ronel Ramos. Okay, so the indicator that I currently am using is pivot points by Chris Waters. So this indicator is actually quite good because in the settings, we can show the floor pivots. This pivot I'm not presenting. So we are showing the Woody pivots, the Fibonacci pivots, and the Camarilla pivots. So it's like an all-in-one indicator. So same thing with my, let's say in a situation where our stop loss wasn't hit. Let's say we set it right here, stop loss right here. In such a situation, we still want a one-to-one risk to reward. Okay, this was pretty good to the next resistance, 1.16. But something I would not like to do. I don't like, as usual, I like to say I don't like to hold my trades for. This took 6 hours. I normally like to hold my trade for maybe around 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, and I'm out. If not within the hour would be best. Okay. Let me show you guys. Do you guys want to know there are formulas for all styles online. Yes, there are many. It's all online, but I'm sure nobody is calculating this by hand, right? Like you wake up in the morning, you decide to calculate the pivot points, start to use all the calculations. So you can actually search online, Camarilla pivot point calculation. So you can see the calculation is so complex. There's so many calculations to do just on that. I don't think anybody will be just calculating, will wake up in the morning, open their chart and calculate, right? You'll be looking at multiple currencies. That's why the indicators are there, to automate it. So by the time you calculate all this finish, maybe it takes you 15 minutes to half an hour. By then, you would have wasted your time, because I'm sure a few people are looking at maybe 4, 6 currencies. So to calculate all this out manually by hand, it will take 2-3 hours. Please don't do that. Just use the indicator. It will save so much of your time. Just open, close, open, close. It's very fast. So do you guys want to see how I enter a trade? So yesterday, I actually took a shot right here. I took a shot right here. Okay, it's not showing in the, cannot show an example. Maybe I can show a reversal. Okay, let's say I actually took a reversal trade that hit my break even. So let us zoom in on the 5 minutes. What actually happened? So if you guys are actually using smart money concepts, it's actually very, very similar to how a pivot is used, how a pivot is presented. Okay, now we are already in the final parts of adding the pivots into the strategy. So for my personal one, I like to use smart money concepts. So I like to add it in. I like to add this into my trading style. So just now I was saying the high and the lows. So the low and the high, you can see this area, hit, tapped, reverse. This area, tapped and reversed. So yesterday, I actually entered a long. I wouldn't lie to you guys, I entered a long right here. I was hoping for price to continue going up to clear this high. Why did I enter that? What was my confirmation? So I took this area, which is the low of the pivot. So I'll set it as the sell side liquidity. So I saw that area got cleared and price went up even higher. I expected. This is the buy side liquidity, the high side. I'll turn off this first for now. Okay. So when price on the M15 charts, it cleared this high, this small little high right here, using smart money concepts. So I like to call this break of market structure. BMS is called break of market structure. Okay, so moving into the 5 minutes. So I actually use 15 minutes to get the overall grasp, the overall picture of the market, what is going on in the market. So moving on to the 5 minutes, chart. So this was the 15-minute high that was broken. Price went up even higher. I tried to implement my personal trading methods. And then what did I spot? I spotted on the 15-minute charts, market imbalance. So you can see this area right here, this area. Price previously did not come into that area. So I was looking for price to come down, tap that area before price continue going upwards to clear this high right here. But I did enter. I entered right here. I entered there. So let me draw out this area. I entered there. Where's my long? With my stop loss at the bottom. And I was looking to the top. So actually to the left, there was something. I already cleared the chart. So all the way to the left side of the chart, there was a point of interest that I was aiming even higher than this specific area. So even for me, I do have my wrongs when I'm trading. It's okay to have wrong as long as you guys have a trading journal, you record it down. So the moment price came down, wow, I was looking at it yesterday. Price continue coming down. I know most of you guys, a lot of beginner traders, not you guys, a lot of beginner traders, when price start to go this low, or you start to close out your trade, then only for price to go back up, and then you will be thinking, damn, I could have held on to my trade and I wouldn't have lost money. So the moment price broke this area, broke that area, that low right there, cannot get the thing out. So the moment price broke that area, I set that area as the ideal invalidation level. What do I mean by ideal invalidation? To me, this area is no longer valid. The trade is no longer valid already. So I believe that if price broke this area, I was expecting price to possibly, I was just hoping possibly come back up before it continue going downwards to hit my full stop loss. So this is how I manage my trade. Not only do I have a stop loss right here, a take profits, an entry, I also have ideal invalidation. So you must know when your trade is not going right. You don't just hold your trade and you tell yourself, yes, price is continue going up. You see, it continue going up. And then in the end, it still went down and hit my stop loss. So I have an ideal invalidation level. So once I had two accounts. So one of my accounts, I set it to break even. My live trading account, price went up. I set to break even the moment price hit this ideal invalidation level. And thankfully, since we cannot control the markets, price could have just continued going downwards, hit my full stop loss. I set my trade to break even. What do I mean by break even? So I was just hoping possibly for price to come back up, and price did, came back up to my entry and closed at break even. For the other accounts, I have two accounts. For my other accounts, so I'm actually doing a challenge, a trading challenge. So on the other accounts, I actually cut off half of my risk. I closed off half of my trade right here and I let it run. So in the morning when I came to office, I took a look. Wow, price actually almost hit my stop loss, but it continued going up. So somewhere around here, I closed somewhere around here. So my take profit isn't that much. In the end, it was like something like this. It was pretty bad. It was only up around 9 pips and I just closed it out. I was busy with work, so I couldn't manage it. So I closed it. And thankfully, thank God I closed it. Price continued going downwards. And then it also cleared my stop loss. So this is just an example of how I manage my trade using smart money concepts and ideal invalidation level. It's very important to have that. A lot of people actually don't, when they teach online, they don't tell you anything about ideal invalidation. They just tell you to let the stop loss do its thing. But obviously, you still got to manage your trade when the it isn't in your favor. Price is not going in your favor, especially in my favor last night. So can move on to another trade, a possible trade. Smart money concept. So we have this level. Let me take a look back. Just want to share with you guys one trade that I took. Okay, this is the one I remember last week. Last week I took this trade. So I took this trade right here, but I actually closed here. I did not close it at here. If I say I close it here, I'm lying right to the chat. So why did I close it here? Why did I close the trade there? So if you guys look to the left, there is what do I see? I always like to talk about the market imbalance level. And same thing, I will be implementing what we are teaching today, the pivot points. So we have the high, the low, the high, the low, pivot points. So I set this as, that day I was looking at this area. So this area right here, it's the 15 minutes market imbalance area. So I mark it out. What do I mean by market imbalance area? See, if you zoom closer, this area, price previously has not come into. So I'll set it as the red area for a possible reversal. So when I was looking, what I also like to do is, there's something that's why I don't use indicators. I'm just showing you guys plain how I look at a naked chart. You can see all my indicators right here are closed. How did I answer? I like to mark out the Asian range. So the Asian range goes from, let me check the timing. Okay, I'm using the New York UTC -4 timing. So I'd like to do is the New York time, the Asian timing, it's from 1900 hours, 19 o'clock. So I like to mark it out until 12 midnight New York time. You can see at the bottom, it's 000 hours. So I like to mark it out very clean. My chart is just like that every single day. So I mark it out black, mark it out as the Asian range. Top, center. So how did I know that price was going to go up? How did I know that? So we go on to the daily before that, to the daily chart. Let me get this out. What day was this? 13 October. So I actually took the previous day high. It was here. And the previous day low. Let me get back into the 15-minute charts. To apologize for that. Okay. So we got it right here. The trade happened on a Thursday. So this was the previous day, Wednesday, high and low on the daily chart. So just put that into perspective. Previous daily high. See, I like to mark it out. It's just like that. I don't use any indicators. Previous daily low. So PDH, previous daily high. PDL, previous daily low. So I just do it like that. And then I wait for the London session to start. So between the timing of over here, from this area to 2 o'clock, I do not touch until London session starts at 2 a.m. New York time. So I do not touch until it's 2 a.m. onwards. So what do we have here? Price, what did price clear? Price cleared the Asian low. So I like to wait for the Asian session to be cleared, either the high side or the low side. So marking this out, we can say the Asian low got cleared, Asian low plus sell side liquidity. So this area got cleared. What do I mean by sell side liquidity? So in smart money concepts, we have this area. Look at this, multiple wicks. So many wicks to be cleared. So price cleared all of those together with the Asian low. And I was waiting for price to reverse. So price continue going up and it cleared this high. Take a look, it cleared this high right here. So I already marked it out. Break of market structure. Let's move on. So I waited for the 15 minutes to close before I start to look for an entry. So on the 5 minutes charts, since price already broke here, same thing, I like to enter by the market imbalance. So on the M5, look at this very minute area. Very minute area. Let me make it straight. So you look at this minute area right here. Very tiny. Let me zoom in all the way. You can see previously price has not tapped into this area. So I set a buy stop here. You can see price actually tapped into it. Very tiny. Price tapped into that area. And then I set my stop loss at the very bottom. Why do I set my stop loss at the very bottom? Because there is another market imbalance right here where price could potentially come down to before it goes up. So I set it as that with my take profits up to the M15 market imbalance, and I just close it right there. This is the M15 market imbalance. You can actually see this, the high is the previous day high and the previous day lows. It's also a pivot point, a pivot high and the pivots low. So in a way, I'm actually also implementing pivots into my trading, just that I draw it out manually. Okay, and then it became a 1 to 2.42 risk to reward trade. Okay, do you guys have any further questions regarding this trade? Do let me know in chat. Do let me know whether you guys are interested to learn more about these smart money concepts. Maybe I can ask IronFX. Maybe we can have a session about it in the future. I can share more about it. Any questions, do let me know. This is how I actually refine my trade without using any indicators. Okay, yes, it would be great. Very nice. Any validity in the marks pivot? Oh, I'm not presenting that today, unfortunately. I do apologize for that. We are interested in SMC. Yes, SMC is very nice because there are no indicators involved. It's just a plain chart. I'm just using a plain chart without any indicators. Explain more about SMC. Yes, I like the attitude, that learning attitude. That's how I felt when I first saw about smart money and Wyckoff. Let me open this up. So for smart money concepts, it's actually quite, so you can actually have a better understanding, I would say a better understanding in smart money concepts if you read up on Wyckoff. Read up on Wyckoff. Let me type it out in chat. Read up on Wyckoff too. Yes, the value gaps. The value gaps are taught by Inner Circle Trader. I think I mentioned it in the past webinars that I hosted. So Inner Circle Trader, I'll just credit him. Inner Circle Trader, ICT. He also talked about the fair value gaps, or also known as the market imbalance. So you can really see that I'm implementing So this area, I took it as accumulation. So what is this? Wyckoff accumulation. That's why I asked you guys to read up on Wyckoff, where there's an accumulation area. So it better explains why on smart money concepts after it clears some liquidity and it continues going up. So for this entry, as what Stephen has mentioned, value gaps, the fair value gaps, I took it from inner circle trader. And same goes to the market imbalance right here, inner circle trader. And this high and low thing is also the pivot points. So you guys notice I actually developed my own, I wouldn't say developed my own. I combined multiple trading strategies before and backtested it first before I implemented it on the live account. Okay, explain more about SMC. You can actually learn more about SMC on YouTube. I'm sure quite a few YouTubers are actually teaching it for free. They don't charge anything. You can learn it for free online. Okay, moving on. You guys can actually screenshot this. So what happened here was there was actually a news. Last week there was a news, so let's not get into that. You guys want to screenshot this trade down? Do screenshot this down. So when you're learning smart money concepts, you can maybe look back on this and kind of understand more in depth on why I actually entered the trade the way that I did. Any more questions, do let me know in chats before we end this session. I'll check with IronFX whether it's possible to hold a smart money concepts session into the future. Read up on Wyckoff. So if you want to know more about Wyckoff, a very, very simple one, you guys can actually check out. Let me show you guys. People, okay, Doge. So you can see this is my personal trading account. I'll send it to chat. That is my personal trading view account. I actually did a short series where I did it on my own at home on the educational series on the Wyckoff accumulation. So it actually kind of explain why. What does it explain? Why price after it clears the sell side liquidity, why price continue heading upwards. So you guys can read this, a short little education thing, Wyckoff accumulation part 1 and Wyckoff accumulation part 2. You guys can follow me if you want. Follow me on TradingView if you want. I've sent it over into chat. Okay. Any more questions? Do let me know. So let me send the link of this also, just in case you guys want. Yeah, I'll probably be writing more. So probably on the pivot points and maybe smart money concepts. So if you guys want to have a short, like a quick summary on what is smart money concepts or pivots, I'll be writing it down on my TradingView accounts very, very soon. So stay tuned. If you want, just follow me. So I got only 11 followers. Oh, someone followed me. Thank you very much. So we increased to 12. Just follow me. I'll be posting more educational series for free. You guys can learn. Hey, thanks. No worries, man. Okay. Any further questions before I end this session? We have a minute left. Any more questions before I end? Okay, thanks. There are no further questions. Hey, thank you very much for following me also and for the support through this. Okay, now we got 13 followers. Very nice. Hey, bye. Hey, thank you very much for joining me today, as usual. My name is Chen Yongjing, and I hope you guys have a good day and take care tonight. I think there are some news tonight. Forgot to went through this. So tonight we have some CAT CPI news, Euro final CPI. So tonight if you are trading these pairs, just be careful, all right? Hey, thank you very much. I like the capital letter. Babuit. Juha, Stephen, thank you very much for joining. Hanin, Ayman, Ennets, Arun, Kabiro, Karimbo, Kirk. Okay, I do apologize if I cannot pronounce your names. Thank you very much for joining. Hey, have a good night, guys. Bye. It's night time. You look behind. Just now we talk. From just now we talked. There was sun, and now it's dark. Hey, good night, guys. I'm going to get my dinner. Bye bye. Hey, bye, Hanin. Bye.